I'm drowning in my history, prisoner of past defeats. Tell me what the future holds. Tell me, baby. Terrified of things to come. Paralyzed, I can't.
Hello everyone, it's Swaggerbond here and I'm back with a brand new retro Let's Play, and I'm very excited because today and over the course of several videos I'm going to be playing through Super Mario World using the Super Nintendo Classic Mini. Thank you so much for checking out my video. If you are enjoying it, don't forget to hit that like button, comment and subscribe to Swaggerbond to keep up to date with all my latest uploads, and check out my social media. The links will be in the video description. I'd love to hear what you think of this game. To me it's the best game I think on the Super Nintendo, without a doubt. I will be contradicting myself a little bit later on, but that tends to happen with me. I'll go on a retro ramble. It's all to do with Mario 64, which I don't think is as good as people say it is, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, Super Mario World, I love it because as a kid it just blew my mind. There are multiple routes you can take through stages, there's secrets within secrets, there's ghost houses, the Koopa kids are back, Bowser's back, we get an animal buddy called Yoshi, we get some new power-ups, and everything is pandabby-dozy. So let's get it on, let's do it, let's play some Mario World and relive some retro memories. You got to understand that when I was 8 years old, my friend called for me. That's what we used to say in the 80s. No, was it 90s? Yeah. 80s, 90s, and he said, "Oh, do you want to come around my house?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he didn't even tell me that he had a Super Nintendo, and like, I mentioned this before, how stingy his mom was, and I could only come around for 2 hours, so I'd be playing Mario World, my mind was blown. It's like, "You've got to go home now," and I'm like, "Oh, so I'd literally leave, and I'd just have my head down. I'm like, "Oh my god, lucky bugger gets to play Mario World," and I was just like, we did get an NES anyway, so we had, I think we either had the NES at the time, so a lot of people had upgraded to the Super Nintendo, but we didn't get it till like a few years later, I think. And to be honest, my other friend, who I talked about quite a lot, Lenny, when I went to the community centre with him, because we didn't go to school, because basically I was just refused to go, I hated it. Lots of other reasons too, but he was at the community centre. We go to a community centre for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and basically just do English and maths. And then we'd go around his, and he had a Super Nintendo, so I got my Mario World fixed like a junkie, my Mario Kart fixed, my Pilot Wings fixed. Oh my god, it was great. And then we eventually got a Super Nintendo, but here's the thing, I can't remember what game we had first for it, because we didn't have Mario World. I know that much. It's true, as Spandau Ballet would say. So I think it may have been FIFA, possibly. I know we had Secret of Mana as well. We got that, I think. I just don't know what we had first, so it's gonna be tricky to remember. I have to go to Recall, I think, and like Arnold, and try and figure it out, because I can't remember. But anyway, for my birthday I got Mario World and I got Mario Kart, so I specifically asked for them because they were the hot games at the time, and my god, I was taken right back to, you know, going to my friend's house, and now it was like, I don't need to do that because I've got Mario World, I've got Mario Kart, I'm pretty much all set now. So, you know, so I've got a lot of appreciation for, you know, my friends at the time, because they really got me into gaming. Like, gaming was huge, and as a little kid I was kind of oblivious because obviously not being old enough to really read the papers or take an interest in things, I had no idea that there was this big gaming revolution on, so they were very adamant at, you know, saying, hey, you need to play this game, or you need to try this, or, you know. So even my friend Matthew, he had, oh, what did he have? I'm trying to think. He had a Commodore 64, NES, Super Nintendo. He was loaded, I swear to God. He had like all the games, and I remember playing WWF Royal Rumble on the Super Nintendo or something. Yeah, but he was a bit of like, he was a little bit untrustworthy because I remember once I wanted to come round to his house so badly. I think he knew that I wanted to come round to his house so badly and to play on the SNES, and then he made up some excuse and we were outside and it's like, oh, I said, oh, do you want to come out? You know, do you want to do something? You know, play football or something. But really what I was saying was, can I come round and play Super Nintendo? That was just my cheeky way of getting in there. He's like, oh, well, we're looking for Jody, and if we don't find him, then I will play with you. I'm like, oh my God, cold and callous. So for some reason we're in the park and we're looking for Jody, our other friend, and I couldn't see him. I will admit I didn't really make much of an effort to look. I'm like, sod this, I want to play on the Super Nintendo. So eventually I think Matthew caved and he just said, yeah, fine, come round. So I was like, yes. So I got my way in the end. Played on the Super Nintendo, so yeah. I think when we played like Royal Rumble or something, I think maybe he was the sort of bloke, you know what I mean, like if as kids do, it's just the way kids think. Like obviously if certain friends are cooler, and believe it or not, a lot of kids were cooler than me anyway, so I wasn't a very popular kid. I would say I was very funny, I could make people laugh, but I wasn't trendy in the sense that, you know, a lot of other kids were. So, but I think coolness is in the eye of the beholder. I don't think it's anything that can be, you know, equated to a group theory, you know, it's very individual. And as you all know, growing up, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter if you're not that cool. You know, you can be innovative and in different ways. Let's just get out here and do that. So yeah. And then we had, I think we had the Mega Drive, but we only had it for like a cup of coffee or something. And then I got like Sonic 2 for Christmas, and that was exciting. Well, actually, tell a lie, my brother got Sonic 2, and I got Taz Mission to Mars, which I was happy with. I was really happy with that. But then my brother come to me, and he's like, oh, I don't want Sonic 2. Can I swap it for Taz? I've asked Dad if it's alright. And I'm like, it's Sonic 2, are you mad? It's Sonic, you know what I mean? Like, alright, fair enough, like, the first one, in my opinion, isn't as good. I mean, I feel bad for saying this, and say your purists will probably beat me to death. I don't hate Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive. I think it's perfectly serviceable. It's just not my cup of tea. But Sonic 2 was the bomb. Is the bomb. It's fantastic. It's fast moving, and he didn't want it. I'm like, so it's like that scene in Shallow Grave. He's like, he says, so you're telling me there's a load of money, and you want to tell the police that you don't want it? Something like that. So he's like, no, I don't want it. Is it alright with Dad if I swap with you? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I had Sonic 2, and I was like, well happy with that. Loved it so much. And then eventually I got a little job on a YTS scheme. I spent all my money on video games. Command & Conquer, Red Alert, Retaliation. Oh, good times. You know what I mean? I think about my childhood sometimes, and I think, oh, it was horrible, but, you know, gaming, this is what I'm doing YouTube now. Gaming makes me so happy. Talking about video games, you know, and playing them and reliving, you know, the feelings that I felt at the time. There is a deep sense of nostalgia. This is why I do it, and I think that's why a lot of retro gamers do YouTube as well, because it's sharing memories and the feeling of when we were little and the excitement of getting new games and seeing new games magazines, and everything was shiny and new, to quote Madonna. You know, and films were good as well. You could go out and you could watch decent movies. I remember, like, you could afford it as well. I remember you could go to UCI Cinema, because that's how old I am, and for £5 you could see a film. I remember once I had 50 quid, right? And I went to see The Mummy. I brought Driver for the PS1. I still had a bit of money left over, so that's how good it was. You know, good times, and it just felt like gaming was cool then. Not that gaming is not cool now, but it's just a different generation now. It's all modern, so, and things have to change, like media, music, films, everything changes. You know, you can't sort of get away from that, I guess. Sorry, Yoshi. Your sacrifice means that, well, actually I didn't really need to sacrifice him, but just want to have a bit of fun here and get through the game. But Mario is a little bit like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can play it as however you want to play it. If you want to blitz through the levels and not do the secrets, you can do that. Or you can take time to find everything. You know, imagination, life is your creation, as they say. But yeah, fantastic. Just, yeah, I just keep wishing it was the 90s again. The 90s was cool. I just remember, like, television was exciting. You'd have Brookside on Channel 4. You'd have EastEnders was good. Top of the Pops. You'd have music. You have Britpop Suede, who are just incredible. Oasis, which I kind of like. I will say, like, the ticket prices are, I think, is a little bit excessive and things like that. But you know what I mean? You'd real characters. There's nobody like that anymore. I guess I don't really recognise anyone from the music scene. I couldn't tell you who's in and who's out, and that seems to be a recurring theme with everybody that I talk to. That's why I'm forever in the 80s, I think. I'm just forever there, you know, because it's such an important time. It was a very magical time, and now whenever I go to these retro festivals or whatever, these music things, you know, these 80s bands play, everybody gets dressed up, everybody's excited, because I think the 80s had a magic that certain eras didn't have. You know, there was something very whimsical and romantic about it, particularly in the films, you know, and creatively as well. There we go. I think I just got rid of the first Koopa Kid. I believe it was Iggy. But yeah, there was something going on. It was just wonderful. And so it's great to see as well younger people, whenever I see these bands, younger people are singing the words back at the bands like Heaven 17 and Go West and stuff, and even they're going like, how do they know the words? But it's because their music is timeless and their music stands up, you know, just like Mario World stands up. I mean, you can play it now, you can play it in 1,000 years and it'll still be playable. So we've defeated Iggy Cooper now. I'm just having a retro ramble today, you know what I mean, talking about different things, and you know, Doughnut Plains once. We've made it to the next world now, so let's do it. So yeah, I'm just kind of changing things up on the channel as well. I feel like my introduction is very long-winded, so I'm not going to be doing a really long introduction because I just want to get into the action. I just feel like I need to change things up a little bit on the channel because I spend about 5 minutes talking about the introduction, whereas everybody knows if you want to like, if you want to comment, if you want to subscribe, you know. I don't force anybody to subscribe or like my channel, you know. You either do or you don't. That's just how I feel. You know, everyone's like, you know, you should get people to subscribe and you should do this. To me, if people enjoy it, then thank you so much. You know, you don't even have to comment or anything like that, you know, because I know that some people use videos for guides or different reasons, you know, and I just think, you know, if I can just reach one person, it sounds a bit of a cliche, but if I can just reach one person, that makes me happy. You know what I mean? I'm not hungry for subscribers or viewers or things like that. And not that it's a double-edged sword. And yes, I suppose I would, but it's not something I kind of be like, oh my god, I need like millions of subscribers and I need this and I need that. You know what I mean? Just putting my video out there means everything to me. That's more important to me than, you know, viewership, you know. And I like that people enjoy what I'm doing because I get a lot of nice comments, and it's lovely to be able to know that you've reached somebody in a certain way, or you've helped them remember a memory or something. That's what I think it's all about, you know, and sharing space with other YouTubers as well. who have the same ideas, who do retro gaming. I really need to be concentrating on what I'm doing because there's a secret on here that I need. Alright, so take the feather. I love that the fact as well that they make you wait for the feather, they don't just hand it out to you straight away, like the raccoon leaf in Mario 3. There's that debate as well that someone's done, what is it, is Mario 3 or Mario World better? And that's a hard question to ask, really. In fact, I might do a video on it actually, I might play through the games and see which I think is better. But if someone put me onto the spot and said which game is better, well, it would depend on what you mean by better. I would say Mario World is fantastic, it's good, it's probably the best Mario game ever. I will say that. I mean, it's got everything you could possibly want from a Mario game, and it's accessible. Mario 3 is proper hardcore. So if you want it hardcore, Mario 3 is the one to go, and it's still a good game. There's lots of levels, there's lots to like about it, you know, you're not really going to be missing out if you don't play Mario World. But I will say, if you want to play Mario 3 nowadays, play it on the Super Mario All-Stars pack on the Super Nintendo because it allows you to save your game, you know. But as a standalone NES game, it is kind of NES hard, I would say. I found it very difficult. I did it for my Sofa Swagger series, so on my channel I've got a series where I do with the video camera where I just play a game. I think it was one of the first videos I did, and it was NES hard, and I remember that, Jesus, that's difficult. But if I had to say which is the better game, I would have to say probably Mario 3 at pinch, because Mario World, I'm contradicting myself, I know. Mario World is, I think, one of the best games, or maybe the best Mario game, for this reason, the fact that it's accessible. But Mario 3 kind of makes you earn it, if you know what I mean. It makes you earn your reward, and it makes you appreciate, you know, when you finally beat King Koopa, because I remember, I'm probably rambling, talking nonsense, but I remember in that video I did, or those videos, that it was down to like one life, and it was down to the wire, and if it was like, if I didn't beat King Koopa there, or Bowser, whatever you want to call him, then it weren't going to happen. I wouldn't complete the game. It really forced me to beat the boss, and it really got my arse into gear, and when I beat him I was screaming for joy. So I would say it's a hard game, it's definitely probably the better game, but Mario World is more accessible. Probably not making much sense. It's, yeah, so if I had to choose, it would be Mario 3 for that reason, I guess. It's not to say I said Mario World is great, because anybody can pick this game up, and I think it's got the difficulty right, because there are certain sections in this game that are purposely difficult for hard players, people who want a bit of a challenge, so it's got a bit of everything in it, whereas Mario 3 is just kind of like, most of the time, balls to the wall hard, but for the right reasons. Like when you get to World 8, and like a lot of people have called it hell, because that's exactly what it is. It makes you fearful, because like, Jesus Christ, what have I got to do now? I don't know what to do. It's scary, you know, and you can't save it on the NES version either. That's the only thing. You have to like do it there and then, unless you've got like the Game Genie or something. So you have to, if you haven't got that, then you're buggered really. But anyway, I did play that and I completed it. I think I missed out a few worlds because it's just kind of a fun video, but yeah, great games in their own right. So yeah, I think some guy's done a video on which is better, so I'd be interested to see what he says. But the thing is about those old games is they had to be hard, they had to be that way. Like I remember Mario Brothers 2 on the NES, and so many people have a lot of problems with that game because it can be quite hard, and a lot of problems with it was the bonus round, which everybody struggled with. But I think I'm one of the very few people that never struggled with it. I was always able to get cherries every time because like the timing issue. I don't know whether it's because I'm a musician or what, but I'd always been able to oh god, I need to peep up, don't I? I'd always been able to you know, time when a piece of music is coming in, or, you know, time when the vocalist is going to sing, or I was able to do that. I don't know how I was able to do that, but I've always been able to do it. I think I've just screwed up with the P block, so I might have to just do this again. So I've got to connect sunny side and we'll try again. So yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling like an idiot today. But anyway, when it came to Mario 2, because I had the timing, I could easily get cherries every time. It wasn't a problem. So I was able to get 1-ups. I remember even my brothers asking me, will you get 1-ups or 5-ups or whatever it was. So I was able to get a plethora of lives on that game. So anyway, NES games were hard. It's just the way that it was, and we just accepted them. It's not to say I could complete every NES game, you know, but I was really good at like the first 3 Marios. I was able to do them no problem. So most games, in fact, I was able to complete quite easily. I remember Mario Land 2 being a massive deal in our household, and we actually clubbed together to complete it, which was nice. We all worked on it, and it was fun, a good time. I remember being the first to defeat Wario, and I managed to get through Wario's castle. Funny thing about me was, like, I was oblivious to the danger. Do you know, like when you're a child and it's like you're playing a video game and the section you're on is dangerous, but because your child brain might not register that it's dangerous, and you kind of stay calm. So I was able to kind of complete it because I kind of kept my cool and just like, oh, okay, get through it, defeat Wario, and so that was cool. So I always remember that game being tons of fun. It's a game I still think of as a really good game as well. You know, Mario Land 1 for the Game Boy is fantastic, but Mario Land 2, oh my god. Even with the slowdown, it's absolutely brilliant. It's one of the best games ever made. I can say that about every Mario game, but it's just lovely that, you know, it's still fondly remembered by everybody who's played it. And it's just a case of, like, Nintendo creating different types of Mario games. I know the Game Boy was kind of like the Twilight Zone of consoles, because you'd get different variations of different games, you know, like Link's Awakening, which just does everything that you would not expect in a video game. You know, it takes everything that made Link to the Past great, and I actually prefer Link's Awakening to A Link to the Past. Whereas Link to the Past is a revered classic, but there's just something about Link's Awakening. I feel like Link's Awakening is bigger than A Link to the Past. Maybe it's just me. And I know that, I'm pretty sure that the Gaming for Ages guys, they did a video on, was it Link to the Past? And I think it was Breath of the Wild. And I think, and pardon me if I'm wrong about this, Bedjel, but I think you said, the map in Link to the Past is really short, and you could literally, you could like traverse it really, really easily, and, you know, get to where you need to go really, really quickly. Whereas in Breath of the Wild's bigger, but in terms of, I'm just trying to think, in terms of Link's Awakening, I feel the map's bigger. I feel like you go out of your way. It takes a lot longer to get to where you need to go. So even though it's smaller, it feels bigger, if that makes sense. It's like they packed a lot into it. Link to the Past is a fantastic game. I'm not saying it's not. I think it's marvellous. It's brilliant. It's great. It's fun. But I just feel like Link's Awakening is like, there's something special about that game. Something that's just magical. Something that I just can't describe. You know, it had everything. It packed so much into a tiny little cartridge, and it's just so memorable. Just the way that they did the dungeons as well, that's something that needs to be kind of applauded. Like, I always remember Eagle's Tower. Every time I do that, I can never complete it straight away. It really racks my brain. I can never, you know, and just think, an 8-bit game like that came after A Link to the Past, which is a sequel on the Game Boy, to do that is just, that deserves some praise. But anyway, I'm doing this level again just to complete it. So, the normal way, because I got the secret last time. So yeah, I'm going on a bit of a retro ramble these days. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just trying to change things up a little bit. Rather than describe what's going on in the game, you guys can see what's going on. I guess it kind of defeats the whole purpose of doing a Let's Play, but I don't know. You know, it's just, it's great. And look at these backgrounds as well. These backgrounds look fan-dabby-dozy. Alright, we got it. No, we don't need the key, because we've already done it. But another reason I love this game is its hidden stuff, its hidden walls. I know there's one level, is it Forest of Illusion? I remember seeing recently actually an old episode of Games Master come up, or a clip from the consultation zone, and there was some girl asking about where it's the Switch Palace or something in Forest of Illusion. I could be wrong, but there's like a hidden wall. I thought that's so cool that they actually have that. You know, I mean, so much thought gone into this game, and that's why it's awesome to me. Right, we've done the ghost house, haven't we? Yeah, we've done the ghost house. So the ghost house takes me here. And we'll do Doughnut Secret too. So, in this game, you can literally go off the beaten path as many times as you like. You can kind of pick your own adventure, which I think is awesome. You can choose where you want to go, how you want to do it. Oh, for God's sake, I keep screwing this up so much. I said it's not that this is easy at times as well, but it's far easier than Mario 3 anyway, which I think was a purposeful decision by Nintendo. Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ alive. This is just not good. These spiky, I think they're Lakitus. Never get the hang of this. Oh shit, there's plants back from Mario 3. Use those invincibility frames very quickly and get the heck out of here. Oh God, a P block. Try and pick up some coins here. I can't remember if this game saves your lives. I hope it does. I can never remember. It's okay if it doesn't, because it's like, I can easily blitz through this anyway, but anyway. Oh my God, I hate this so much. I'm just so out of practice as well. I can't do it to save my life. There we go. Boom, there we go. Alright, cool. Mario saves the day. Fan-dabby-dozy. So yeah, I was going to do the Punisher on PlayStation 2. But I don't know what it is, and I feel bad for saying this again, but most of the PlayStation 2 games I have, and that I brought, because I went around to most of the CEXs back in the day, and I got like, oh God, loads of PS2 games. I just bought them in bulk. Some of them are just pap, you know what I mean? Like, they're not that good. So I was playing the Punisher, and it's just not that good. It's very violent, but you have to control the camera at the same time, and I was just like, I just was not happy, you know what I mean? Like, I just thought, you know what, this is not making me happy. What will make me happy? And I was like, oh, Mario World, I've not played that in a while, so we'll play Mario World. And there's a big smile on my face now, because finally the sun's come out outside. And I'm currently recording this on 31st of October, which is Halloween, so happy Halloween. Belated Halloween. It's probably April or May of next 2026 by the time you see this, but, you know, it's kind of like a little personal timestamp for me anyway. Pick up some coins. I always love doing this. Picking up coins, picking up lives. Alright, we'll just do this. But yeah, maybe I'll do a video on what is better, Mario 3 or Mario World, just to conclusively hold my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think anyway. What do you think is the better game, Mario World or Mario 3? Let's do it, there we go. I love how you can just stay and collect as many coins as you want, or you can just leave. It's totally up to you. Make like a tree and get out of here. Pop down the pipe. Awesome. Gotta watch out for the enemies, because I'm such a stickler for like messing up. And I think the enemies respawn in this game as well, which I keep forgetting about. You have Yoshi again. Some people say Yoshi, but I've always said Yoshi. I'm sure it's Yoshi. But I've always said Yoshi anyway, because that's what Dave Perry called him in Games Master. He's like, oh, Yoshi, when Mario World was announced, he's like, oh, it's Yoshi. So I've always called it Yoshi, I think, because of that. And wasn't Dave Perry the coolest freaking character ever? Characters, you know, the games animal from Games Master. Cool guy. Just knew his video games. Knew his stuff. Right, I'm trying to I do apologise, I'm really trying here to do this. Look at this, beautiful, beautiful control. And his flying takes a bit of getting used to as well for me. I can do it really easily now, but I don't know, every time I go back to playing Mario World, I have to remember to do that with the cape because I keep forgetting. So pop down the pipe. Okay, beautiful. Go, kill the plant. This is harder than I remember as well. I just remember like seeing all this stuff as a kid and it just blew my mind. I was like, I wasn't sure how to get through all this carnage. So we've already done that. And what's great is as well, you've seen those blocks which you can't actually get yet, the green sort of lines. We need to hit switch balances in order to hit them, in order to make certain sections easier to access more secrets. Now, some of them are not mandatory, and what's great about this game is you can get them either way. You don't have to kind of, you know, do it, oh, find the switch palace most of the time.
I'm drowning